So, apparently, Fantastic Four filming is delayed, and Pedro Pascal has apparently, this I think is actually a terrible maneuver by Pedro Pascal. He exits the movie Weapons to clear his schedule. Do you know what the movie Weapons is?
No,
Anyone?
do share.
You don't know? Okay,
No.
so, and I don't hate anyone for not knowing it, but the movie Weapons is the follow-up film to the writer who did Barbarian. It sold.
Right.
It was. There was a bidding war for this film. A bidding war for this film, and apparently it sold for astronomical numbers. And he was on board, and he's gone. He's exited that film for Fantastic Four.
Mm.
Dreadful decision.
Yeah, big mistake.
Genuinely dreadful decision. So,
when's he gonna have time to do Mando during all this?
well, he just does voice now, doesn't he?
Yeah, I guess he could just do the voice stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, what's the report? Right. Previous reports have indicated that cameras were going to begin rolling on Marvel's Fantastic Four reboot around April. Makes sense. They got nothing in the can. But apparently production has been hit with delays, which could ultimately lead to the movie's May 2025 release date being pushed back. Obviously, there's been no other cast members. So according to Jeff Snyder, filming won't get underway until Q3 between July and September. And he believes a release date change may be imminent. I would guarantee that, quite frankly. And I probably rewriting it as well. So in addition, Pedro Pascal, who is now said to be a lock to play Reed Richards, has been forced to drop out of Barbarian director Zach Cregger's new horror film Weapons in order to clear his schedule for Fantastic Four. Bad choice.
I don't think that necessarily was a choice that he made. To be fair, because very often when this happens, you have signed some kind of agreement, or the agent has signed some kind of agreement on the client's behalf, which means that, oh, right now this studio has the priority on you. And if you had a prior engagement, well, that sucks. You have the higher priorities. You're just going to have to drop out of the other thing. I can give you another recent example, not recent, but another example. I believe, was it Emily? No, it's not Emily Blunt. It was some other actress. I forget her name right now, but there was some actress who isn't really that big in
Vanessa
famous
Kirby
right now. No, not Vanessa Kirby. I'm talking about the one who was originally cast as Black Widow. Scarlett Johansson was a replacement.
Oh God, I don't know.
Because originally it was another actress who was cast as Black Widow. But what happened was that that movie shot slightly. The shoot for that movie was delayed. And that meant that the originally cast actress's schedule no longer allowed her to be in it. And then it was the other studio, not Marvel, that had the higher priority on her, meaning that she was in some shit movie that bombed anyway. But because of the way that contract and agents and stuff like that work out on, she lost out on Black Widow because Iron Man 2 shoot got slightly delayed. And she had to be in this shit that is completely forgotten by now anyway. And she lost out of the gig of a lifetime. Another example is the original X-Men. Exact same thing happened there. The originally cast Wolverine, because Hugh Jackman was the last-minute replacement. He wasn't the first choice for the role. He wasn't the second choice for the role. He was the last-minute replacement, third choice for the role, after the second choice, whom Bryan Singer had decided, okay, this is the guy. But then what happened? Paramount had a higher claim to him, and he had to go back to Mission Impossible 2 for reshoots just as X-Men was filming, and thus he lost out on Wolverine. So this happens, and this is the exact same thing. He was supposed to be in Weapons, but obviously Marvel had a higher claim to him. Now that movie is delayed. Since he's a lock, he no longer has any option. He can't say, no, but I want to do Weapons. No, that option is off the table. He just lost it.
That is a bad decision, though. Regardless whether they're able to or not. I mean, he should
the
never.
moment that a certain contract was signed, and that obviously has been signed, he had no choice in that matter. It's no longer a decision to make.
But that's what I mean.
Was signing the contract to be Reed Richards in the first place.
Exactly.
That was a bad decision.
That's what I mean.
And here's the funny thing: he may have thought that, oh well, if this sucks, I still have weapons to fall back on. And then this is delayed, and he just lost weapons.
Well, that again, yeah, that's exactly what I mean. He should never have signed up to play Reed Richards anyway.
Yeah,
it's not going to be a great role for him.
That's probably something his agent decided, because he's going to be like one of the CIA or something that Marvel and Disney has a strong relationship with, and they're going to be like, hey, all our first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth choice for the role. Have all passed on it. Now we have now gone down the list, and we have come to this actor, and we need you to take this one for the team. Studios do that to agents, and agents do that to their clients.
Yeah. So, well, what I mean by that, anyway, just to sort of, Fantastic Four being delayed and stuff like that. The whole film itself is a complete shit show. Everything we've heard about it's terrible, but he should never have signed up to it anyway, because. Yeah. Pedro Pascal's star, although he's in a lot of things, his star is still burning in a relatively good direction. He has the likability factor. Whether we like him or other people like him in the chat or they dislike him, etc., doesn't really matter. He has a likability factor that people generally quite like to see Pedro Pascal in stuff. And this movie, Weapons, would have been a far better choice for his career. Everything to do with that movie, so Barbarian came out, smash it, just something that no one quite expected. And then this Weapons movie script was then, there was a huge bidding war for this script. Huge bidding war. It would be so much better for Pedro Pascal's career to do a more auteur style film where he actually acts. He's not going to act in Fantastic Four. There's not going to be a director there that's going to make him actually act. That's going to make him actually look like a decent performer. He's going to just be doing himself, I think. It's my sort of assessment of it. The lay of the land. And he'd be better off, again, doing, more auteur style films. What a terrible choice to sign up to Fantastic Four to begin with anyway. It's just, this is what you'd expect of someone in this trajectory of their career. And it's, take Adam Driver, for instance, right? Adam Driver disappeared from Star Wars and has just done a bunch of auteur films. And now when he pops up in a bigger film, you're like, oh yeah, Adam Driver, he's a good actor. You don't think, oh yeah, it's Adam Driver from Star Wars. You think, oh yeah, Adam Driver, he's a good actor. Right, and that's why it matters when you appear in these kind of films to duck out of them for a while, to get out of them and do these much smaller films, I reckon. Anyway, Culture, what do you reckon, bud? You're sort of staring at your screen there, I can see.
No, I'm following the chat and everything else. I think Pedro Pascal probably had little to say about this. I agree with Andre. I think it was probably driven by his agent. Some of these actors really don't guide their careers. They leave it to others. Sometimes that's a good idea. Sometimes it's a bad idea. Pedro's picker has been broken for a while, so I would say his representation is probably just kind of guiding him to the studios that he can get a payday from. Because let's face it, I mean, agents, that's their job, is to get a payday because they want to get paid too, and they get a percentage of your pay. So it makes a lot of sense. Does it surprise me that the film is delayed a little bit if they had to wait for him? I think Paulie in the chat pointed out that he starts shooting T. Louis 2, in February. So having to push it back from April makes a lot of sense, because I guarantee you it's at least a 6-week shoot for that garbage product that they're going to put on us from
at the very least. But I think this is more delayed because of the shit show that is Marvel at this point in time as well.
Which is also true. They probably had to completely start fresh with a blank piece of paper for the script. That seems to be the MO for Marvel right now. But look, I agree with Andre again when he talks about the fact that, and what you just said, Pedro needs to find better quality projects, and he's not doing it. And I think you're right. I think he's going to regret not being in something that's, in demand, not only at the studio level, but likely now, from a consumer level. So, yeah. Absent like his really great performance in Narcos, that Netflix series, I don't know that I've seen him do a good job in anything other than maybe be the saving grace in Wonder Woman 1984.
No, he was good in The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent as well.
Oh,
I
man.
thought he was
Okay.
good in Game of Thrones.
Funny type
Oh,
thing.
yeah. I mean, he was playing Viper, but again,
Yeah.
sometimes I feel like he has limited types of roles.
Yeah.
But,
Go on then, Nick.
Yeah, Nick, I just want to ask you before we get to you, do you think you're going to see him in the club later?
Maybe. I heard he visits there quite frequently. Talking about his roles and scripts and what he should do, and everybody was telling him, don't do Fantastic Four, and he's doing it anyways.
You didn't whisper in his ear close enough, did you, Nick?
I made a stinger for that, by the way. The rumors going around about Pedro, but I didn't do anything with it.
Okay.
Right,
come on then, Nick. What's your thoughts?
In all seriousness, though, I really wanted John Krasinski to be in this role, and I think a lot of other fans did too. I just can't picture Pedro is Mr. Fantastic. It just seems like a bad casting for the character for me. I personally don't have a whole lot of issue with Pedro Pascal, other than some of the dumb comments and statements that he's made in the past. But I'm more curious on how much this is going to tie up his career, because if he's joining in on this isn't like a one movie deal. He's going to probably be making appearances in other movies, doing sequels, doing collabs with other superheroes and other movies. So I'm really interested to see what he signed on for exactly. Because signing on to just a Marvel movie means you're signing on to a lot more than just that one movie.
Oh yeah, you're never there just for one movie. You're there for the long haul.
Yep.
You are there for a while.
Yeah, and if this thing completely bombs, which I think it probably will, they haven't gotten Fantastic Four right yet.
But they shouldn't bomb, and it shouldn't be difficult to get right. And I've been saying this from the off. The reason why this is taking so bloody long is because they're trying to make it something it's not.
Yep.
Right. It's such a simplistic story. It should be easy to get right. They're not going to get it right.
The funny thing is, just to speak for Tom for 1 second, as he isn't here right now, but he often points out that the best Fantastic Four movie is going to remain the unreleased 1994 Corman edition, the one that was held back. That's going to end up being the best one.
Yeah. I mean, I can't imagine this is not going to be a good movie.
Because again, anything Marvel's doing now moving forward.
Well, the thing is, you know what? It could be a good movie. I just don't have faith that they will make it a good movie. It could be good. They could use this as a launch pad to completely reshape the entirety of where Marvel's going. Really quite easily to do, actually, because you could just have it as an alternate. You know, you've got this whole multiversal garbage. Have them from a different universe. Have their introduction that way. Change everything that way. Change the villain that way. You know, oh yeah, Kang opened up the multiverse. But Doctor Doom came through and murdered him and closed it, and the Fantastic Four came through behind him. I mean, easy, done. There you go. Change the direction instantly. Make it about family and stuff like this. I mean, it's very easy to do, but they're not going to, which is frustrating.
They don't have enough people over there to think of stuff like that.
Turn it into Fast and the Furious. It's all about family.
Family. Well, there you go. I thought that'd be an interesting way to open up the podcast today.
Yeah.
Delayed. It's a complete shit show anyway. looks like it's going to be from all of the leaks full of socio-political ideological nonsense about strong whammons, which is completely irrelevant when it comes to this story. Mr. Fantastic isn't going to be very fantastic in it, allegedly, as well. I mean, it's just nonsense. You've got a gender-swapped Silver Surfer for some unbeknownst reason. Well, we know why. DEI, ESG. It will probably be an allegory for ESG as well, for the E part of ESG, because we know they're still hot on that. Oh, Silver Surfer comes down. Oh, climate change. Oh, for God's sake, shut up. You can see it now. You see, when I say these things, people go, oh my God. But it's true. You can see it all. Just lay it out for you. It's all there. It's all there. Anyway, any closing thoughts, guys? Any closing thoughts?
How about we just not have this movie?
Yeah, I'm with Culture on that.
Yeah, how about we just pause everything Marvel until someone comes in and really cleans the house at Disney and gets rid of Kevin Feige and everyone else who has been instrumental in the destruction of the MCU. Yeah. Bring it back when there's a new team there that is maybe committed towards actual storytelling rather than the ESG agenda.
Yep, bring it back. First movie to reboot the whole entire MCU, 2030. That gives them plenty of time.
Yeah, I don't think I want anything lining up with 2030 ever, but okay.
That would be good.
Wow, what's going on with 2030?
If we could just skip the entire year, 2030, if we could go, that would be. I'd be all for that. Actually.
Me too.
What's going on with 2030?
That's a talk for Rumble.
That is not a pop culture discussion.
Yeah.
Okay.
We